Hey, what's up guys? My name is Cameron Gallagher from We Are Film, and today we're talking VMount batteries, so let's get into it. So just a quick reminder in the opener here, if you do not follow Zach and I on Instagram, be sure to check out the links down in the description below. Go follow us on Instagram, we're really trying to put some effort into those, so be sure to do that. But anyway, today we're talking about VMount batteries. So obviously there are a ton of different battery solutions out there. Sony and Canon and every company you could possibly think of has batteries. But when you start getting to the more professional level, you pretty much have VMount or GoldMount. And these are basically the standards when it comes to cinema cameras and a lot of higher end lighting, all that kind of stuff. Now, we could go on and on forever about GoldMount versus VMount. So I'm using VMount because typically it's cheaper and it's just a much more affordable option in general. GoldMount is better because it does actually secure a lot better, but it's not that big of a difference in my mind. If you need GoldMount, of course go with GoldMount, but for my case, we're gonna be talking about VMount batteries. So when I bought the Ursa Mini Pro G2, I was kind of out there looking for different types of VMount batteries that were gonna be able to fit the workflow that I needed. And mainly the big thing was I wanted slim batteries that were going to be reliable and that were going to give me the best amount of, of course, battery life that I possibly could. But it's kind of weird because there's a lot of different options out there for VMount that are more professional based. When you go looking for VMount batteries, some of them are huge because maybe they're rigged out on giant cameras and they're rigged out on huge rigs, so the size actually doesn't matter that much. Another thing is the ability to travel with these batteries, because of course, if you're going to be going on flights and taking this on, the go, in some cases, you're going to want a battery that's going to be small enough that's going to work within those guidelines, but again, is going to actually give you enough power to use the camera. So after doing a little bit of research, I settled on the Core HyperCore Slim batteries. Now these are 98 watt hours, and there are different versions that are much bigger. So there's a bunch of different types of batteries from Core and this HyperCore version, but again, the slim batteries for me were the best option. So these things just have a tough and rugged build to them. It's something you could definitely throw around, toss in your camera bag. It could easily fall. I've had a bunch of them fall and it's not a big deal. They're made to be tough. Now, of course, it is a VMount, so of course it goes in the back of any VMount attachment, so whether it's a camera, accessories, lighting, whatever you need it to be. But it also has a P-tap out, so this is great if you want to power accessories that can take a P-tap, so maybe another monitor or just some extra stuff in general. And it also has a USB out, which is really nice because a lot of accessories now are USB powered, and or you can just charge your phone. No, don't charge your phone. Now, one of the biggest selling points to me on the HyperCore Slims are the fact that they have an LCD on the back that shows you the amount of runtime left. And this is huge for a lot of different reasons. So one of the most annoying things about VMount and GoldMount and sort of these like higher end batteries is it's a lot harder to tell how much is in them just by the camera. Sometimes the camera itself can't tell exactly what it is, and there's things like voltage, and that's really hard. It's just very confusing. I just want a simple like, hey, there's 20% left. But the confusing part is what is 20%? So the problem is that let's say you're running the camera and you're running some accessories off of this VMount battery. Now, if you didn't have an LCD screen, it would just say like, hey, you have 20% left. But it's like, well, is that 20% of the battery, or is that 20% of the camera's battery, or is it also 20% including the other accessories? I know it sounds confusing, but it is, and that's the problem. The great thing about the HyperCore Slims is that this actually has an LCD that shows you the amount of time left based on the power draw. So whatever the power is being drawn from the device, whether it's from USB, P-tap, or the actual VMount itself, it is going to tell you how much runtime is left. This is huge because I can really figure out how much time I have left just on everything in general, but also when I'm going to need to get other batteries or have other batteries charged up. So the even better part about this is that when you're actually charging them, it shows you how much longer it's going to take to charge to full capacity. So this is huge. When I have it on the charger, I can easily tell, okay, this one's got 20 minutes left, so I have 20 minutes left on my camera, and I have 20 minutes left on this, so we should be perfectly fine to swap them out. And again, this is huge when it comes to especially running guns, small setups, where maybe you're charging batteries on the go and you don't have a ton of batteries laying around. But speaking of battery life, these things have been really awesome, and of course this is going to be different for each person's camera and setup, but for me, powering the Ursa Mini Pro G2, even with some XLR inputs with phantom power, I typically get about 3.5 hours per battery, and I think that is perfect. We did a video talking about the Ursa Mini Pro G2 and how we shot a wedding on it, and we only chewed through 3 of the batteries, so we had an extra battery left over. So when it comes to shooting all day long, to be able to shoot on a high-end camera like this and run that all day long on 4 slim batteries is a big deal, especially because these are lightweight batteries. If you get the larger versions, you could run these even longer. And of course, depending on what your workflow is or what you need, the larger batteries may be better for you. Another option is actually getting a VMount splitter on the back, so it has 2 VMounts to 1 VMount in the back of your camera. That way you could still have the slim batteries, but you could run 2 at the same time. I know a lot of people do that, but again, that's a different option if you needed it. So I actually bought the 2 charger kit originally, so it was just the charger and then the 2 actual batteries itself. And the charger kit works pretty well. It plugs in nicely. It charges up pretty quickly. I really have no complaints about the charger itself. But then I did go ahead and buy 2 extra batteries. Now the thing about VMounts is these are a little more expensive than the cheaper, like you can go out there and buy really dirt cheap VMount batteries. But again, when it comes to power, I don't like to cheap out. And power is probably the most important thing of your whole system, because without it, none of it's going to run. So if you don't have a reliable power source or something that can actually destroy your camera, I've heard horror stories about batteries shorting and doing weird stuff that could actually possibly harm the camera. So in my case, it's just one of those things where you're better off spending a little bit extra money. So the VMount batteries right now run about $375 MSRP, so sometimes you get them on sale or cheaper depending on what's going on. So the 2 battery kit's a little bit cheaper. I'm not sure the exact price, that's kind of changed. But again, you're better off spending just a little bit more on better VMounts. So the company Core is one of the more well-known battery companies out there. And of course, if you look at behind the scenes on big movie sets, a lot of them are using that or Anton Power. So you're pretty much safe with either of those. And that was the biggest thing for me, is I wanted the safety and comfort of knowing I had a good battery that had a lot of good features to it. So when it comes to VMount overall, these HyperCore Slims, I cannot recommend them enough. They have been incredible. I haven't seen any dip in the battery life since I've gotten them for about over 6-8 months now. And again, they're just awesome all around. I really like them. They're just great, reliable batteries that I can have in my camera bag, and I know they're gonna work when I pull them out. So anyway guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later.